And we're back.
Hello.
Hello.
Back from India.
Yeah, hello from the other side of the world. How is the future?
The future is very good, but I must tell you that this 12 and a half hour time difference, it's going to take me a while to get over this jet lag, man. It's ridiculous. Like in the afternoon, I feel so sleepy because like I don't sleep a whole lot, but my peak sleep hours are exactly in the afternoon here. It's 12 and a half hours flipped, right?
So I'm trying to do the math right now. So you're 9.5 hours from me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's 10:30.
You got it. You're very good at math.
I am
Nailed it.
Elementary level. I am very good at math.
Right. All right, cool. Yeah. So what's going on in your neck of the woods?
It's spring has sprung. It's finally nice. The weather is good. Enjoying that. I'm just getting, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I've been sick all week. It's just this is that time of year for me. We're just cooking up some good stuff for our streaming side of things. Pretty
Cool.
excited about that offering and what that's coming to be. We're gonna start targeting some screen manufacturers and other people in this related-ish space. It's coming good. It's the next domino to fall after the studio. So I'm just getting ahead of things.
That's amazing. Well, here it is an inferno and humid, ultra humid. So I had the AC on, but the AC is so loud. I have to have the fan on, and I'm gonna be perspiring during this. It's just how it is. Because here I have to choose my battles wisely. If I open the glass door behind me, the thing with India is that there are a lot of at any given time there's always like a wedding or party or something going on, and they blast the sound really loud. I happen to be up here on the 19th floor, but it comes in pretty loud, so you can imagine what it's like at ground level there. But yeah, so I chose to kept the door closed and have my fan on, and hopefully I'll be able to survive this.
-1 Celsius in Estonia.
Yeah. I wonder why is my label not on here? Oh, there it just came on. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Just getting settled in here, and I'm here.
How long do you think you'll be there? How long can you anticipate?
It depends on my dad's health. I came here primarily to take care of him. He basically lost his mobility a few days ago. Well, I guess I've lost track of time at this point. So let's say a week ago, and I'm here now, and he's gradually getting it back. So we do short walks multiple times in the day, and by a walk I mean 20 steps or 10 steps or something like that. But yeah, basically to assist him in everything. But he's got his spirits up. He's good. He's good like that. And for an 85-year-old, he's doing as well as he could be doing. So I'm very happy about that, and he's very happy. I think part of it is also to have me here. He's very happy about that, and
that's a big part of the game, is the mental game. But
yeah, exactly, yeah. And so he's happy for that, and yeah. So my goal is to be with him and make sure he gets back to his fitness level. So I'm thinking it might be a couple of weeks. It might be a little more than that. I'm tentatively think at least a couple weeks. So yeah. So that's it. I mean, basically, I just have to care for him when he's awake. He does sleep a lot, so that's that. And what I plan on doing is maintaining both time zone coverage. So like I've been doing that. I've been doing meetings during the night, all night here with the US, and then I want to start since I'm here, and I know a few people here. I just want to start doing some business meetings here also.
It's good. No, it's good. I mean, the chat, a lot of people are wishing everyone the most positivity and health, and people
Yeah.
love you, Nick. It's we love you too, and get back when you can, but enjoy the time you do have.
Yeah, so I discovered one thing, very interesting thing yesterday that I've not previously done. So the infrastructure in India, and I think most of Asia, is concrete. Everything is concrete, and the doors are all like solid wood. So the router, I'm in a room, and the router is outside there, and you close it, and my bandwidth goes to like 5 megabits or something. It's a 100 megabit connection.
Okay.
And yesterday I'm like, okay, how am I going to do all these Zoom calls? Because I spend pretty much my life on Zoom.
We do.
Yeah. So luckily, I asked the building guys to come up here, and they were able to crimp a long Ethernet cable, and I'm hardwired to the router, so I have a good 100 megabit connection, and I can keep the door closed. So that's good.
And I'm sure a lot of the people are thinking at home, and I already asked you backstage, but how is it having the motherland chai?
Yes. So first, I
Quality.
must apologize to Gus because in my rush to get here, I forgot to pack my cup this time. So I apologize. So I'm using my other favorite cup here, which is a Tintin cup. I'm a big fan of Tintin. And so it is awesome to have chai here.
You said the other day that you had 6 in a row.
Yes, I did. I did yesterday because I was trying to make a goal, and I could not afford to let jet lag get a bit better of me. So I was just slamming them one after the other, and yeah, I'm not proud of that. So
definitely past your daily intake of caffeine in one day.
yeah. Yes, Dad, but I'm now. So he's saying, then yes, I got this solitary shirt. It is now pre-programmed into my head. I'm like every Friday, I'm like, okay, how do I get something ready to wear on here? And I appreciate service personnel, and we always be saluting them. Okay, so today, Zach, we're gonna do things a little differently.
We are.
First of all, because I'm at a different location. That's one reason, and also because I think we are at a turning point with this project. I'm very excited about that. A really good turning point, and I wanted this download to reflect kind of where we are. So we'll give some updates, but I prefer that we do more detailed updates like we do every Friday in another live, maybe on Monday or something like that in Discord. But today we're going to do things a little differently. We also have some special guests. I love it when there are special guests because we get to explore the depth and breadth of this project a bit more. So what I'd like to do is first start off with announcing our download, etc. But then I'd like to bring our guests on right away and start chatting about it, and then go into a different kind of segue. So that's the plan. That's the plan for today. So let me go ahead and bring my intro slide here so we can talk about that, and then we'll bring our guests. All right. So everybody, welcome again to the Vitruveo Download. So this is season 3, episode 3. It is April 19th. Well, it's April 19th everywhere. So for me also, it's still April 19th. I'm coming from India, actually, Bombay. And it's April 19th, 2024. And I welcome you. We have some special guests here today. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and bring them on here. So let's bring them on here. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you?
Hello.
Good to be
All
here.
right. So I'm going to ask you quickly, Esso and Nathan B, to introduce yourselves a little bit, and then I want to share why you're here today. So Esso, let's start with you, please.
Yeah, sure. So, hello everyone. I'm Eso. Most of you know me from Discord. I'm one of the community moderators there and part of the VTech team.
Yeah, I'm Nathan B, part of the VTech team. Great team. I've been in the community since the start, I guess, of Vitruveo and back from the previous community. So yeah, I work in tech, and just really trying to bring some of my skills to make this really secure, scalable blockchain. So yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, I welcome both of you. Thank you for being here today. And the reason you're here today is because we have reached a turning point in our journey when it comes to decentralization. All this time, we were kind of operating under a semi-centralized model where basically the core team, if you will, had a couple of nodes that were validator nodes, and there were a few loose ones in the community. But now we have scaled up, we have structured, and we have hit some great numbers. So what I'd like to do is start off by having you tell us a little bit about the VTech team, and then talk a little bit about progress we've made, especially in the last couple of weeks. So I'll let you guys take the answer, however, the question however you want.
Yeah, sure. I can start. It's definitely been a very exciting 2 weeks or 3 weeks we've had as we had this plan made from 3 months ago, and now it's starting to get real. We're getting our nodes online. Then
Let's talk some numbers. Nathan, you want to share some numbers?
Yeah, absolutely, because it's a really exciting number. I mean, if I think back, Nick, to Monday is when we had on the mainnet we had 12, let's say 11
11. Yeah, it was
validators,
11.
right?
Yeah.
And if you would have asked me if we would have been where we are today, I would have said no. I don't think so. Maybe we can get 5 to 10 on. But yeah, I mean, within a 5-day working period, we're up to 50 validators on mainnet right now. So we started adding 5 on Monday, and then progressed to I think 6 or 7, and then we just keep on increasing the numbers. So, and not only that we have this 50 validators on right now. If I look at some of the static metrics here, where the each of the validators are syncing blocks in turn. They're sharing the load very well. So yeah, I as I said, I'm really happy, and everything has gone better than we expected.
This is amazing. So we actually let's just be open and transparent. So after we had the rebase, a few blocks later there was a bad block, and that's what led us to reevaluate a few things and essentially come up with a strategy of having what's called a checkpoint, which is essentially a snapshot of the chain at a given point in time to onboard folks. And as I understand it, that greatly accelerates onboarding. Is that right?
Yeah. That's true.
Why is that?
Because when the node starts syncing with the network blocks, it doesn't have to start from 0. It starts from I can't remember if it was something like 2,009,000 or something. It starts, so it gets synced very much faster.
That's
Right.
great.
So yeah, you're downloading a file locally on your node, right? And so you're starting at a much larger block count, and then when you sync against your peers, you're going from, like Esso said, 2.8 million up to what are we 3.2 now. So it's a shorter period for onboarding new validators to the group. So, and if you continue with transparency, Nick, we had another single validator that had a technical issue with one of the blocks, and we were able to use that process to get them back to before the bad block, and then they sync from that block, and they were able to fix their issue. So we've been able to use this same process to help resolve some technical issues as well.
That's great, because what we plan on doing is having regular checkpoints. It's a public repository, so anyone who wants to join the network as a full node can do so literally, within minutes. So we'll maybe we have to figure out what our cadence should be, approximately how many blocks, we'll publish a checkpoint. We'll make it reasonable so people can get on quickly. So let's talk a little bit about how you're managing this onboarding of approximately 500 nodes, right? So you got 400, I don't know, 80 or 30 or something like that to go. What's your process for that?
Yeah, well, like I said, we started the planning 3 months ago, and we started to write down these node holders, and it's I'd say it's a controlled chaos right now. We have to control a lot of node holders at once. We have this it's kind of a 3-step process. Once you get to the we like to call it the VOP room. The first process is the to set up your server and the node software running, and then when you're done, then you have to go through the KYC, and also of course to be approved. So we have trustworthy node holders, and the third step is the actual onboarding that is happening right now. So
Okay.
so we have about 20 member batches to be invited maybe 2 or 3 times a week to set up the server and the software. So it's around maybe 40 to 60 people in a week. And
Wow.
at the same time, we have to handle the all the tech support for the node holders and the onboarding. So it's a big job.
Yeah, I see the point on the organized chaos, but I will say Nick and Zach that we had to pivot there for a couple of updates, if you remember. So we had some processes like Esso was explaining, but then yeah, we had to do that pivot and things like that. But now for me, I really see that the cogs are really oiled here, and so for the folks that are like waiting with validated NFTs, and they've been really patient. I think that they should start to see that them being added to this VOP room, and then we progress them down to mainnet really quickly, because to my point that the process is working. And I don't think we anticipate any updates anytime soon to pivot, which we have to. But so I think things are organized chaos, but it's working really well.
Yeah, it's working like a old machine, and like Nathan said, we started this onboarding like 5 days ago, and we already have 50 nodes online. So it's going to be accelerated even from now.
Yeah.
Well, I must say kudos to you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for the process. Looks so organized and so streamlined, and that's completely credit to you. Now, one thing I do want the community to know is that we are going to stand up a really nice sort of stats and analytics website, similar to Eat Stats, etc. But that's not there yet. But in the interim, we do have something else that you have put together. So I'd like to add that to the screen here. So this is something that the community can access. It's a sheet basically that shows the nodes as they come on. And so in order to get that, let me go ahead and put the banner on here. So anyone can see this. And thank you, gentlemen, for setting this up. But basically, it's as real time as you're updating it right now, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
I haven't updated the today's nodes over there, so it's still showing 39 nodes, I think, but we definitely have 50. That's confirmed.
That's amazing. So now let's talk a little bit about the difference between what we are seeing right now and what we are going to see. So right now, what we are seeing is an onboarding sheet, like who is on board, and maybe they're in progress, and maybe they're not. But what we are transitioning to is live snapshot of who is sealing, who is online, who's offline, which one sealed which block, and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. If you scroll a bit down, it will the addresses will. By the way, this address is the same address that you can see from the Explorer.
Yeah.
There's the block tab is moving, so those are the validator addresses.
Let's look at that. Let's look at that for a second. So what we are doing here is we are essentially looking at this row here, where it says minor. So you can see that there's different ones, and you can go and compare, and they'll be in here. The order might not be the same.
Yeah. So if you scroll down, and every address that is in there, they have already set up the server and the software. So those ones that are red as a node, they have set up the server and the software, but they're still waiting for our confirmation. We have to confirm that they are on the latest updates, and they wait for the onboarding. And the orange color is ready, so they are the ones that are basically, they are invited to onboard. We have confirmed the latest update from them, but they haven't been onboarded yet. And then the green ones are the nodes that are online.
Great.
Are validating blocks.
All right. So this is in the interim while we get the portal going for analytics. This is a great way for people to monitor how many validators are coming on. So let's talk a little bit about the importance of this. So the security of any blockchain depends entirely on the number of validators that are there. The more validators that you have, the more secure the chain is. And why is that? Can one of you explain in layman's terms, like why does more validators mean more security?
Yeah, because you need 51% of the nodes running for the chain to continue. So we can, as we scale now, that, the confidence for creators, investors, people, using the chain, they should have a lot of confidence, because if we lose like a region now in the world, or a cloud provider, we still are going to have, the chain won't even notice, because some of the validators might go down, but if 49% even of the validators go down, the chain will still continue to validate blocks. So as we scale more numbers, then we can have a lot of validators go offline, and the chain will still continue. The last thing I'll say to that is, when I look at some of the stats here, I mean, even the cloud providers that we have, we're using the largest two in the world. Some of the validator owners are using the largest two cloud providers in the world. We have validators all across each continent now, right? So you talk about this decentralization, Nick. I mean, even from the cloud level and the region level, we're all over the globe. And as we go past 50 into 100, et cetera, that'll grow and will be extremely decentralized, not only from an individual perspective, but from a cloud perspective and a region perspective.
Yeah. So I might be putting you on the spot here, but can you compare, like, for example, the number of validators we have compared to, say, BSC or Ethereum, which is way off the charts,
Well, mine is, we're POW, so we're a click chain for the protocol, and so the other ones that I know are VChain. So VChain have 21 POW, and then the other one is Kronos, and I think they have like 101. All right, so we're going to be scaling, larger than that. And for POA, excuse me, I think I said POW, POA chain, and so that again goes back to my point that the more validators that you have, the more decentralized we are.
That's amazing. Well, gentlemen, I really, really appreciate your efforts, especially in the past weeks, in order to get the instructions done, the protocol in place, and scaling us up so smoothly. And I monitor the chain very closely, and I can see the trend. And as I understand it, we took a decision collectively to kind of slow roll it out, just because we don't know, right? We don't know the impact of putting a whole bunch together, and so we could do it faster. But I don't think there's any hurry. There's no hurry to prove anything here. We are just going to go ahead and get everyone onboarded, and in a few, I don't know, months, a month or two, we will probably be all onboarded. So that is phenomenal. And then we can start exploring other things, which at one point were on a very distant horizon, but now we could think about it really. Things like, can we improve the click protocol? Like, do we want to customize it for our own needs? The other things we could also do is we have considered the long-term concept of storage on chain. There are some protocols that do it. It's complicated, but we can start exploring real changes to the protocol, and also perhaps, if we don't go with changes to store on the protocol, do we double up and have IPFS or other nodes, on some of the or all of these validators? So we can start playing with those things and really enhancing and scaling up the protocol.
Yeah, I think also the VTech team are committed with other things like security and monitoring, and sharing with the team how to just individually take care, optimize there from performance and reliability. I think that's a focus of the VTech team. And the first one I said there is security. How can we secure the chain? That, you know, we're at a point now, but it never ends with that. We have to look at ways just to secure the blockchain as we, you know, grow and things like that. So that's a focus.
Great. Well, I appreciate all that information. I'm sure the community is excited, and as we can keep monitoring this, and we can do some regular updates as you hit more milestones. But I really appreciate all your efforts, and thanks so much for coming here today and sharing this, and also you know, being online in the community, in Discord, etc., and answering a ton of questions and things like that. So really, really grateful and thankful to you.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yep.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep, thanks.
All right. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you again sometime here.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. So now we're done with that part. What I want to do now is, okay, here, let me get this off the screen. Okay. So what I want to do now is quickly run through a few high-level updates. But as I said, we're going to do things a little differently this time. Let's go with those. So the first thing is, I always like to give an update on the capital spending. So we have not done any spend from the multi-sig, but there is a vendor who has created a beautiful metaverse gallery for us as we are prepared to launch. So their bill is due. So we're going to take care of that. Let's take care of some high-level issues here. And as I said, we will do another Discord live on Monday or Tuesday and go into more detail. But let's answer the most high-level questions. So the first one is regarding MEXC and the deposits and withdrawals. So here's the issue we have. MEXC is running its own RPC node. An RPC node basically is a read-only full node of the blockchain, which their software connects with in order to make transactions, etc. That particular node has had some issues, and it is the only node in our network that is having issues right now. So we have offered MEXC technical support. We have offered to help them, you know, get on a Meet, a Zoom, etc. But so far we haven't done that. So really, the ball's in their court. We are ready and standing by, myself, Prabhu, the members of the tech team, to assist them in making sure that it's not a validated, their full node is working. We don't have this problem with any other node in the network. So really, we hope that they will take our help, and so we can get past this problem quickly and resume operations. But the ball is really in their court. We have offered all the help we can. So that's the status of it, and we really hope that they can stay online and get this going. So that's that. USDC, we are waiting for Circle to give us the green light, and as soon as they do that, we will have a page where you can bridge funds over from Polygon USDC to Vitruveo, and the reverse also. So that should happen any day now, and as soon as that happens, it will be done. Scope has the NFT change done, but there is a performance problem because there are some users with literally thousands of collector credits NFTs in their account, and when that happens, it kind of slows down the app significantly on their machine, and eventually it breaks. So we don't want that user experience. We want to fix it. So we are working on some strategies around capturing those tokens on the server side and caching them, and then passing it to the browser. So we're working on that. That should be implemented probably over the weekend. That's the best estimate I can give you. And then you can start seeing all your NFTs, not just a certain set. Any NFT that you have own in your account will be viewable in Scope. The Honcho release, along with a couple of projects, is imminent. Been talking to the team, and they're going through the last motions of checking everything, testing out, making sure the mainnet deployment is good, etc. So that is happening and imminent. Studio deployment is also imminent. So we lost a few days on that because there were some issues with things like the integration between the app and the contract, basically the Web3 part. But the teams moved past those, and we have also finished testing. And so I expect that we will be announcing Studio Live any moment now. I think they're just doing some final testing, and as long as there's no issues from there, they will it will be live and boarding artists. So as you can see, we have reached a point here where there's a lot of things coming together at scale, right? So we've got the decentralization of the network. We've got apps coming on board. We've got the studio, and shortly after that will be search. We've got the Honcho marketplace coming online. We've got projects launching on there. We've got USDC stablecoin coming on there. So if you add all of that up, it comes down to that one word that I've been mentioning again and again and again, which is we are now in the early phases of demonstrating traction, right? Traction is what I've said has been very critical for us to move forward and really take this blockchain to the next level. So, so far, what we have done in order to get to this milestone is we did a booster sale where we had the community and others outside the community also fund the ongoing development of this. So to develop all this, and believe me, there's a massive amount of development and work product that's been involved here. So we have all that. We are doing an airdrop right now, and that is picking up steam. It's going well right now. Actually, one thing on that note, earlier this week I was supposed to do a Binance Live, but unfortunately the host was not feeling well, so we had to reschedule that. But there will be an upcoming Binance Live where we talk about the airdrop. So I'm really excited about that. So that's happening, and that is also a form of raising capital. But our primary sort of goal now is to ensure that we have enough capital to have a decent enough runway, and to be able to do the thing that I know many people in the community want, which is get wVTRU listed on a centralized exchange. So we have switched gears now, sort of in the team, where with all this stuff launched and ready, we'll be obviously monitoring that and helping people onboard and use things, etc. All of that's going to happen. But we are shifting our focus right now to really looking at how fast and with what degree of success can we get wVTRU on a centralized exchange. So we are there now. That's the pathway we are working toward. So this is why I said I wanted to kind of do this download a little differently, because the listing of wVTRU is important not only for the community and for the project as a whole, but also for the creators that we are bringing on board, right? So as we are bringing them more on board and they're listing, etc., we want to make sure that they have the liquidity that they need for this. And I'm sorry, I'm perspiring a little bit. They need that liquidity. So we want to make sure that it happens. So what we are doing now is essentially focused on getting the investors who are sort of on the fence about traction, etc., getting them, over that hump and closing deals as we can, as quickly as we can, so that our goal is that we have a commitment from at least one exchange before the end of May. I say a commitment from an exchange because it's not about the listing date, it's about the commitment, because once you have the commitment, then you go on their marketing calendar and the exchange kind of projects the date when you will be live. So we can't project that date. What we can work on is getting to that date where we have a commitment. So you have my assurance that now we are switching from sort of product development and implementation, the foundation elements, to now building on top of that and getting to that big milestone that we are working on. So in order to do that, what I want to do today is to do the very same thing that we are going to be doing with investors. I want to go through our pitch deck with you. I don't want to do an exact detailed pitch, but I do want to review our deck with you and highlight some of the important points, because depending on when you come into the community, etc., you might have snapshots. Oh, this is important, this is going on, but you don't have the whole big picture, right? And so what I want to do is to give you the whole big picture here today and focus on that. and maybe take a few questions. But again, I want to commit to doing a Discord live where we deal with some of the operational issues. There's always going to be issues where this doesn't work, this got fixed, or I have a trouble ticket, etc. So I want to focus more on a strategic kind of level at this particular juncture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring our deck on here, and I'm going to talk through it a little bit. And like I said, I don't want to do the whole pitch, but I do want to focus on what's important here and hopefully give everyone in the community a sense of why this is going to be very, very successful. We have already demonstrated success on many fronts. We're going to keep building on that, and we're going to scale this, and we're going to make this one of the most successful Web3 projects in existence. All right. So first of all, let's look at what is our elevator pitch. So we are the world's first L1 auto rebasing protocol, and our focus is on creating multiple revenue stream for creators and collectors. So we are focused on the ability for people to create freely and to earn fearlessly. So that's the central focus of this chain. Let's see, how do I go to the next one here? Here we go. All right. So what we are doing is we are essentially building a decentralized ecosystem to unlock sustainable income. I always like to remind people that all of this comes down to income. So it is income for creators, for collectors, for the investors. This protocol and everything around it, the ecosystem is designed to enable people to have a sustainable income, but it's based on three things that are sort of different from other chains. Most chains are about technology. Well, we've added trust and community. Those are very important and almost pivotal elements of our success. So we want to unlock sustainable income for creators and collectors based on trust, technology, and community. Now, what are the problems we are solving? So there's a lot of detail on here, but I want to focus on the very high level. So right now, all the creators that are in the Web3 space, they probably came on at the peak in 2021 when things were really, really flying. And then they realized that that was sort of an illusion. It was temporary. The reality set in. And what we have right now is a lot of challenges, especially with regard to marketing. Creators are not marketers, but they're supposed to do that. We also have in this ecosystem a lot of scams. People get scammed regularly. We have no standards or generic standards that apply to everything, and the user interfaces of Web3 applications still leave a lot to be desired, and that hinders trust and accessibility. But if you were to sort of list and enumerate the specific problems that creators face, the first one is sustainable income. There isn't a mechanism or a pathway right now where a creator can know that they're going to have a predictable income stream over a period of months. Right now, you wouldn't even be able to say it over a period of a year. Like some people get a sale every 6 months or every year. That's not the way to succeed. Creators are required to have marketing skills. Most creators would rather be creating, art. They don't want to be marketing. So we have that problem. And because it is very easy to essentially clone artworks and list them on these marketplaces where there's no checking done, there's lots of scams and forgeries. There's no digital signatures or anything like that. And so there's lots of problems there. Creators have to come up with money first before they can actually participate in the space. And that is because gas fees are very high. And finally, there are no standards. There's just no standards for anything. And what that has created is a complete lack of trust from the folks who are still not in the space. The ones who ventured bravely into the space, they deal with the consequences. But the ones who are not there, they don't trust the space because of the lack of standards. So these are the problems Vitruveo has set out to solve. And the way we look to solve these is through trust. We feel that trust is a missing element in Web3 today. Just about every project, you have to kind of trust that things will go your own way and you won't get scammed, etc. that's not a good way to conduct business for anybody. So we want to bring that element of trust. And what we want to do the way we want to do that is by focusing on lots of industry standards. And so if you were to look at how we're going to bring trust, I would say that there's 5 ways in which we'll do it. The first one is creator trust. So we are implementing a system of creator KYC, know your creator, and it's an opt-in system where creators themselves go through a KYC process, which almost everyone in Web3 is used to when they go sign up on an exchange account, etc. So as a protocol, we don't want to be the keepers of that private information. So we rely on third parties to tell us that, okay, this creator completed level 1, or this creator completed level 5 of KYC. And we use that in the blockchain to enable people to make decisions. So if you're creating a marketplace, you might provide a constraint that says, hey, creator, you can list things for, I don't know, $10,000 if you want, but you must have the highest level of creator KYC in order to list that. So now we protect the buyers, and we know who the creator is and what level of KYC they have done if they want to list artworks at a very high sale price, etc. So that's how we do creator trust. And then it comes to media trust. Right now, anyone buying artworks or even any PFP collection, etc., they basically trust that the media is good and is not a copy, not a clone. And there's no way to do that right now, but we want to do that. So we use the C2PA standard, which is a standard that is in place with big companies like Microsoft, Google, Adobe, etc., participating in the Content Authenticity Initiative. So what we do is, as the media files are added to our VTRU Studio product, before we publish them to the decentralized web, we will sign them and say that, okay, this is the file we received. It was received by creator XYZ, who is at L5 of KYC, and it was signed on this date. And we, VTRU Studio, attest that this is the untampered file that you are going to receive if you were to buy an NFT of that, right? So that's trusting the media and making sure that if anyone tampers with it, it becomes instantly invalid. And what's more, these media files can be validated anywhere on the web. So there are many people that have C2PA servers, including the big tech companies. You can take the media file, go drop it on their website, and it will immediately read a manifest and tell you that, yes, this was created by VTRU Studio, and here are the claims that are being made, and they are true. So that is media trust. The next thing is license trust. When you go and buy an NFT today, you don't even look at a license. You have no idea what the creator is allowing you to do. And from the creator standpoint, the buyer has no idea what they can and cannot do. So they just assume they can do everything with it. So that hurts creators, right? Like you don't want your artwork maybe replicated and resold by someone else. You definitely don't want that. So with license trust, what we've done is we've created an on-chain licensing system to be very clear about what rights are being granted to a buyer depending on what product they're buying. So if it's an NFT, they have a certain set of licenses. If they are buying a print version of it, they have a certain set of licenses of rights, and so on and so forth. So that's license trust. The next thing is metadata trust. In almost all the artworks that exist today, you have a title and a description and maybe some keywords. And there isn't much to tell you about the provenance of the artwork other than the on-chain provenance, which is which wallet had it and when. But in terms of the details of when it was created, what genre of artwork it belongs to, what style, etc., all this metadata just does not exist anymore. That metadata is actually important for trust, because when you are a serious artist and you create a serious piece of work, you have that information. If you're a scammer, you're not going to provide all that information. You're not going to spend the 15, 20 minutes it takes to provide a detailed overview of really every dimension of that artwork. So we feel like metadata not only adds for discoverability, but also adds a lot of trust. And finally, we make it where you're not minting things and then hoping and praying that someone will buy them. That seems like a bass-ackwards way, if you will, of operating. So we have a system where artworks are minted when they are purchased. So I spent a lot of time on this slide because it is the most important and crucial sort of slide that pulls everything about Vitruveo together. I won't spend as much time on the other slides, but this is all about trust, and how we get there is really important because we've fundamentally changed everything about Web3 NFTs and art. And why we are doing that is as important as how we are doing it. And so it's about trust. All right, let's move on. So our solutions, how we solve these problems, is first and foremost with a suite. So we have a VTRU suite of applications, and we are starting off with 4 apps in that suite. And each of these apps solves a specific problem. So Studio is where artists and creators begin their journey. This is where they onboard everything. This is where they do their KYC. They provide the metadata. And that's where they manage their artworks. So initially in alpha release, each artist is first of all, there's an allow list, so not everyone can come in and do it. And secondly, each artist is only allowed 1 artwork. That will change. We'll allow you to have as many artworks as you want. But you start your journey with Studio, and then the information you put in the Studio, the assets, they go on chain, the metadata goes on chain, the licenses goes on chain, and then it's immediately available in a product that we call VTRU Search. So VTRU Search is by far the most ambitious app that we have built to date. And what it does is it searches all assets consigned to the blockchain. This does not exist on any other protocol, and I don't see anyone coming close or anywhere in the vicinity of implementing something like this. But our vision is that VTRU Search is kind of becomes like, if you remember what the web was like before we had Google, it was opaque, and VTRU Search makes it transparent and accessible. So with the artists ready to onboard here shortly, possibly even today, the next milestone will be for us to launch VTRU Search. That'll come shortly on the heels thereafter, a few days later. One of the most exciting capabilities we have in VTRU Search is the ability for anyone to curate beautiful, what we call stacks of artworks, and then promote those stacks. And in the process, upsell, they can mark up the cost of the artworks and make a profit. So we want to transition from artists doing marketing to saying artists and creators do 0 marketing and other people do marketing. So we want to make the entire web marketers for artwork. So that's what's new and exciting about VTRU Search. Stream and store are how we sort of take the innovative assets we have on chain and make them available at scale. So with Stream, we are targeting the new generation of display devices that exist and creating beautiful curated streams for people's homes, for offices, for lounges, for restaurants, hospitals, hotels, you name it. So this is a future that we predict is going to happen much faster than people think it will, because the notion that you can have a really slim screen on your wall that replaces a painting or something like that, and have an infinite number of artworks, beautiful artworks from global artists flowing across there, is a very, very alluring proposition. And we intend to make that real very, very fast. VTRU Store is our Shopify, if you will. So we want to give anybody who wants to market and sell artwork the ability to do by clicking a button that says create store. So you can create your own store. And while most blockchains have, 3 to 10 marketplaces, with Vitruveo, because we can unleash this capability to everybody, we intend to have hundreds and maybe even thousands of marketplaces. So that's the VTRU suite of solutions. And now let's talk a little bit about our protocol and what is special about it. So there are also here 5 elements. So first of all, we have auto rebasing. You can think of auto rebasing as compound interest. So just like your savings account has compound interest if you hold your funds there, Vitruveo has auto rebasing compound interest, but it is gated. It is gated to transactional volume, because we are of the mentality that if the ecosystem thrives, then individuals thrive. So we focus on having the ecosystem project succeed and having lots of transactions. And when that happens, everyone benefits because there's compound interest in the form of rebasing. All the metadata that I talked about is searchable on chain. That is a unique thing, and what it's going to do is unleash a new breed of applications that heretofore have not existed. So the concept of reverse marketplaces, for example, when you have a PFP collection and you have NFTs with valuable traits, but you desire one with certain traits, you can create a reverse auction where you can say that, okay, I'm willing to pay this much for this particular thing. And because the metadata is on chain, it can be matched and you can find a likely seller for you. That's just one app, but there's a host of different apps, and we'll be publishing some of our own that take advantage of metadata on chain. Then we have pools of coins that are automatically released periodically based on rebasing for creators, for investors, and for validators also. So these are essentially long-term rewards that are funneled to the wallets of different constituents based upon the overall success of the ecosystem. We've got a vertical suite of integrated dApps, as you just saw, and those are an important part, and we intend to keep doing that. While most protocols are focused on inviting other projects and having them build, we don't want to wait for that. We are certainly going to have lots of third-party projects build on it, but we have a core set of dApps that the protocol itself builds and manages in order to bring to reality this whole integrated ecosystem vision of ours. And the last and most important thing about Vitruveo is that we are the first protocol out there that really emphasizes industry standards, because we feel that that is a key way to bring in a lot of the large projects, companies, foundations, galleries, museums, etc., that are out there that don't trust Web3 right now. We believe that standard compliance is a key way to do that. Next up, let's talk about market size, right? We are in this market because it is large and there is a lot of share to be gained. So 84% of the market is not yet on Web3. And that's just for art. If you add music, film, and sports, that's an additionally $130 billion. So this is a very, very large market. And Vitruveo, as an early entrant, can be a leader and get tons of market share. So we are focusing on starting with creators and artists, which is an $11 billion sort of market. And then we will add music, sports, gaming, audio, film, and all of those components, and gradually increase the scope and size and really importance to society and the world for this protocol. So there is a lot of opportunity, and we intend to capitalize on it. Let's talk about our ecosystem. We are early in the game, but we already have a very vibrant ecosystem that is thriving. And you may not notice it from individual things, but when you see it all put together on the slide, you can see that we've got a lot going on here. So first of all, the vertical dApps we talked about. So as the protocol, we have already built in some form or stage various of these apps. So we've got VTRU Studio, we've got VTRU Swap, we've got VTRU Scan, Store, Scope, the AIRDROP app, search, all of this in various stages of development. Some of them already in use in alpha and beta, and they can only get better and better as time goes. We also have community apps and projects that are coming on board. So Honcho is the marketplace that we'll see going live here imminently. We also have community projects such as Coins. We have Swoops, we have Sochai, and we have a lot of properties being brought on here by ePlace. We also have Poet, which is our proof of engagement token, which we're only getting started with. We are waiting on creating what we are calling True ID. It's an authentication system for Web2 and Web3 users. And once that really takes off, Poet will be integrated with Zapier and will really, really be able to scale up very, very fast. In addition, we have protocol level dApps. These protocol level dApps are used to inform and help investors manage their assets on chain, also provide a report on the health of the ecosystem. So these tools are, some of them are available and some of them are being built right now, and they will be available. So we have a very vibrant ecosystem. Now let's talk about revenue streams. So most protocols don't have the concept of a well-established revenue stream, because they're focused only on the cryptocurrency price. We of course, want the cryptocurrency to thrive and be really strong in the market. But we are unique as a protocol in that we also have the ability to create additional revenue streams as time progresses in a very decentralized manner, in a very community-centric manner. So right now, because we have asset consignment on chain and we have the ability for different licenses to be created, we have the ability to add a fee. So nothing gets taken away from creators ever. Creators never pay anything in the world of Vitruveo. But if we are providing the service of helping market the assets that artists put on board, remember, artists do no marketing on Vitruveo. You do that. So how do we pay for that? Well, we pay that by having a markup on the asset of about 2%, and buyers pay that. And that fee then gets split among multiple constituents in the protocol. So whether it's investors, validators, etc. So this is something that would apply to all assets on chain, regardless of whether it's a primary or a secondary sale, rather, and it will scale up. If you look at what's been done on other marketplaces, we expect that the sales transactions will be in the billions of dollars. So even a small 2% of that is still a significant number. In addition, we intend to have our launchpad called sort of VTRO Swap, where we'll make it easy for people to come and launch their own token and NFT projects. Very, very easy, and where we will add yield farming, bridging, and other fees and derive income from that. Now, of course, as a protocol, we are open, and we invite any and all other projects to also come on board and run the same kind of apps. And we will have no advantage over another app in that realm because it's all decentralized and they all work the same way. So that's sort of our general revenue stream. But I want to talk about our specific revenue stream, which is with streaming. So Vitruveo is well positioned to be the Web3 Spotify for creators. We have all the ingredients in place where people can curate these beautiful playlists of artworks that can then be streamed to devices. Early on, you heard Zach talk about how we are working on engaging with hardware device manufacturers, also with general websites, etc., that have people who want to subscribe to content. So we will have VTRU Stream as a first-class citizen, and it is going to be a first-class portion of our revenue stream strategy, both short and long term. Tokenomics. So our tokenomics, to start off with, is everything is designed to build a very vibrant ecosystem. But the most important thing about our tokenomics is that we are designing it so that there are downstream network effects. So network effects are very important. Network effects ensure that each new entrant into the ecosystem adds more value, and it's not a flat one. It's a curved increasing value here. So we've got VTRU, we've got Wrap VTRU, and we've got VTRO. So those are our primary assets. And as of right now, we have VTRU TVL of $39 million and VTRO TVL of about $360,000. We have a tokenomics breakdown here where the initial investors have roughly 25%. And what you see there as the treasury 49% is actually subdivided into many constituent parts, which include things like pools, etc. But it's easier for people to understand the general breakdown in terms and in labels that are more commonly used across crypto projects. So this is kind of our tokenomics. You can take a look at it and see that we are sort of rarely positioned in that not only do we have the cryptocurrency, the native coin, but we also have a token. And so long term, we intend both to be very, very successful, and we'll focus our energies quite a bit on that. All right. A quick slide here about the team. So myself, I'm the co-founder and CEO, and my background is in tech companies. I had several startups. A couple of them failed. 3 of them I had exits on, and I hope that Vitruveo is going to be my biggest project ever yet. And I have pretty much everything focused on this. My entire life is focused on Vitruveo, and I'm very, very excited to be building something that not only transforms the world, but really helps people creators, crypto investors, etc., and brings a lot of new innovation to the world. And my partner and co-founder is Adrian Ponte, and he's based in Australia, and he brings a lot of the skills around running the business, marketing, branding, and really taking care of the degen side of the business, if you will. So we've got emerging creators and we've got degen sort of creators, and we split the responsibilities equally. So we have teams in Brazil, Indonesia, and Dubai, and Australia. So that's where our teams are distributed, and we're going to scale those up as we build up this blockchain. And a quick look at our roadmap. This is very high level, but it will be of interest. So as I mentioned right away, our first and most important goal now, which we are focused on, is to be listed at a tier 1, hopefully. But if that doesn't work out, a tier 2 exchange for May. That's our target. We want to get that done. And over time, we want to be listed on 4 exchanges. So we're looking by summertime to be on 4 exchanges. And we want to introduce new and innovative staking programs. I'm very excited to have the help of some really experienced community members who are putting together some great staking programs to help with our TVL growth. So that's what's going on with VTRU Coin. The VTRU suite is what you have seen progressively here. We've got VTRU Studio and VTRU Stream. We are already see those live, but we will have the v.next next month, which means scaling them up so the artists can have multiple artworks and things like that. We want to make sure that we onboard Genesis artists as quickly as possible. And there's a lot of waitlist creators. So we are giving ourselves the whole month of, the remaining month of April and the month of May to finish onboarding them. Now, of course, the artists will progress at their own pace, but we'll certainly keep the tech open and keep sort of all our marketing initiatives open so we can welcome as many of them on board as quickly as possible. We do want to target a stream launch and try our very best to get a hardware partner, even if it's an alpha or prototype stage, by June. So we want to work aggressively that by the time we hit the end of June, we have a streaming partner in place. All right, in terms of our ecosystem, by August, we'd like to see 5K creators on here. Hopefully we can go well past that numbers. We want to target about 100 DApp active projects by the end of Q3. And for our airdrop, we want to make sure we have 25K airdrop users by the end of Q2. So we have about 8K right now. And so we feel like we can add significantly more by the end of Q2. In terms of the protocol, as you saw what Esso and Nathan talked about, we are onboarding validators rapidly. So we want to make sure that, within the next month or so, which is the end of Q2, we would be able to onboard a majority of them, 300 or so. And then as we talked about it, we want to revisit the Click consensus protocol architecture and start thinking about what we want changed. So really not doing any changes, but discussing them and formalizing what we want to propose for those by the end of Q2. And then start implementing those changes and have them in alpha by the end of Q3. So that's kind of the roadmap here. So you can see that as we sort of head into the end of Q2 and really get into Q3, there's going to be significant activity that happens for Q3, so that when we head into the last quarter of this year, we do so with strength and with significant growth. That's the roadmap we've planned. We've thought a lot about it, and we are very, very confident we can achieve these milestones. Next up, let's look at the numbers a little bit. I think people see these numbers in isolation and don't really realize the full scope. And when I talk about traction, these numbers reflect that. So we have almost 12,000 organic Discord users. We have 16,000 followers on Discord, and that changes very rapidly as sort of our airdrop campaigns go on. We have 3K creators in a combined form in our Genesis and in our waitlist, and more coming on board. We will be able to claim them as creators on board very soon as they actually go through the process. Right now, they are essentially in our ecosystem. We have 8K airdrop users at the moment and continuing to grow. We've raised $1.75 million in crowdfunding so far, and that has come through 10,000 funding NFTs that were sold. We are over 150 tokens already listed on our DEX, some of them fairly significant and some of them emerging. We have 22K wallets, unique wallets on the blockchain, and that number continues to grow as our airdrop continues. And we are approaching 100 plus validators. I put 100 plus here because they are growing so rapidly that I didn't want to change my deck immediately. So we're precisely at 50 right now. But as Eso and Nathan mentioned, they're adding 5, 10 almost like daily. So by the time we hit a couple of weeks from now, this number will be true. But right now, we are at around 50, but we'll get to 100 plus very quickly. We have $39 million in TVL locked. And our blockchain is performing consistently with a 5-second block time and a very consistent low gas of 4 Gwei. So this gas is not going to increase. It's kept that low because we want to incentivize creators to come on here and to list their artworks, to consign their artworks, and to use all the capabilities of the chain. And we don't want gas to be an impediment. So those are the numbers, and we are looking at growing these significantly in the next couple months. So that's the story of Vitruveo for you. And we have the opportunity now to capitalize on this solid foundation we've built. As you see in the sum total of it, with the protocol, with the apps, with the ecosystem, there's a lot of work that has come together. And now we need to capitalize on it. And we intend to do that. We intend to scale up and really move this protocol to the next level. So that's a complete view of the protocol. If you're coming here for the first time, I hope this was very helpful to you and gave you sort of a lot of insight into what Vitruveo is about. For those who are in the community, you can now see where we are headed. It's always been the question of when list. And I've always pushed back and said, look, we have traction, we'll do that, right? So we are there now. We've got the initial stages of traction. We capitalize on it, get that investor capital in so we can have the liquidity necessary for listing. And we are committed to getting us our coin listed ASAP. So my call is to folks in the audience who are creators. VTRU Studio is going live here shortly, and we'll start onboarding. So we welcome you on board. If you're a crypto investor, we certainly want to talk to you because we've got an excellent project and an excellent investment opportunity. We want to talk all about it with you. And for those of you who in the community who have supported us so far, we are very grateful because without you, we could not have reached this milestone. We are very excited that you are part of this community, and we are really excited that you share our long-term vision for success. So that is everything about Vitruveo. Zach, come on here and let's chat a bit.
What's up?
I'll take a breath now and a sip of chai.
Yeah, Nick, you gave us a lot of information there. Though that from the first iteration of the investor deck to today's deck, it is completely different.
It's changed a lot, and we've evolved a lot. I think as a technologist first, I'm used to startup pace of development. I'm used to this, but never in my life have I dealt with a startup where we had so many concurrent tracks of development going on. I mean, this is like juggling so many products all at once, and it's insane. And I'm just grateful that we have a really good team and are able to sustain this, but it's really exciting to see high quality caliber products making their way. And not all dates are perfect. We miss dates occasionally, but the complexity of these projects is very hard to manage by date. We manage by feature and quality. We want to make sure we deliver a great user experience. And I've always told the team, look, if your date slips, let it slip, but we cannot compromise on quality and we cannot compromise on user experience. We just will not do that. And that's been the mantra, right? So, and we keep doing that. So, all right, let's take some questions. I must let everyone know it is 11:45 p.m. For me, and I'm just about running out of steam. But we'll still stay
No,
here and
that's
take some
fine.
questions.
Too many.
But like I said, I want to commit to another live on Monday or Tuesday, and we'll go into lots of details here.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Can we talk about rev share? Is it applicable for secondary marketplaces like Honsho or any other new marketplace? Or are we getting rev shared for boosters?
The booster rev share is really easy to understand. We have an asset registry, let's call it that, where artworks are consigned. Within that, we have an NFT license type. It's a category of licenses called NFT. Basically, the booster rev share is for any artwork that is consigned to that registry and then subsequently licensed via any license that is of the type NFT. So we have one NFT type license, but we'll have many more. And so regardless of whether it's a primary sale, a secondary sale, if the revenue is coming through that NFT license, then it means that the boosters have a rev share. That's it. That's all you really need to know is if the artwork is not consigned in the asset registry, it's automatically not a candidate. If it's not licensed through NFT license type, it's automatically not a candidate. So that's what we committed to, and that's what we'll have. So yeah, that's it.
Does streaming generate rev share for investors?
Streaming licenses are not NFT licenses. That's the whole point of streaming licenses. They don't convey ownership to anybody. They're transient, right? You see an artwork, it whizzes by your screen. Now, you have a QR code. You might scan that and you might buy an NFT, and that is revenue for investors. So streaming is a gateway to revenue for investors, but not the revenue source.
Will any future investors get rev share option?
I don't believe so, unless there are programs or tokens, etc., that come from a protocol standpoint. Our focus is on rewarding the early investors who basically funded our ability to build this, right? And so they get this. So the reward for future investors is going to come from VTRU coin. So you invest in the coin, you hold the coin, and as the blockchain grows and succeeds, the coin appreciates in value, and you make money.
Well, that's all the questions we had, Nick.
Yeah, so we've got, okay, great. Like I said, I'm happy to take more detailed questions later. But as I said, I want to do a little different spin on the download today because I really wanted the community to see the totality of it, and also to send very clearly the message that we are focused on getting this big milestone achieved now. So we've got all these foundational milestones done. It's been a long journey and a very tough one, I must confess. But we're there, and now it's time to pull out all the stops. Just go for it, and get to the next level. So I'm excited, and I know the community supports this, and I'm grateful for that.
I'm very grateful too. These weeks, these episodes just fly by.
Yes,
it's incredible.
Yes. Yeah,
I can't believe it's Friday already.
Yep. All right. So with that, I'm going to sign off from India here, and I will catch you all on Discord live next week as committed. And I know you have a lot of detailed questions about staking and NFTs and rewards, and when are certain airdrops that are still pending going to happen. Look, our goal is to do everything. All right. It's just that we have so many balls in the air right now. We have to do things in a strategic way, and that's kind of what we are doing. But 100% of what we've committed to will be delivered. I mean, that's my commitment to you, and we'll keep doing that. So look forward to seeing everyone online here next week again. But meanwhile, it's going to be an exciting weekend. I think you're going to see. We are not going to wait for the week to launch things, etc. So there's expect to see activity on the weekend. All right. Oh yeah, the poet. Thank you for asking that. People, let's do that. Let's get that on here. I appreciate that someone asked that before I signed off. Otherwise, I would have missed it. Let's see. Let me get that going.
Gotta give the
All right, there is today's poet. And the team did talk to me about the prizes, etc. But like I said, I just switched the agenda for today quite a bit. So we'll start figuring out how we're going to award these prizes, because I think a lot of people use multiple emails. So we might provide a way for you to consolidate your emails or move your poets so that we can figure out who has the whole series and award the prizes accordingly. But that's today's. And with that, I'm going to sign off, and
We'll see you all on Discord
next week.
Monday. Yeah, so we'll look out for an announcement on that.
All right, bye-bye.
See you guys.